podcasting during school when my house was quiet enough to work. This is Reimagining Hustle, a podcast for entrepreneurial parents creating a life where business and parenthood live peacefully in the same space. I'm your host, Roxanne Market, a mom of two, micro-business coach, and serial entrepreneur on a journey to prove that it is possible to do what you love without sacrificing all your precious time. Let's do this. Welcome back to Reimagining Hustle. I cannot wait to chat with my guest today, to introduce my guest today. I have Jaimee Campanella with me. Jaimee, how are you?
I am doing really well. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm so excited to be speaking with you.
Oh, this is going to be fun. You are doing good work in the world, and I want to hear all about it. I want to share with my listeners. So will you just dive in? Tell us about you. Tell us about the work you do. And if you want to throw it in, a little bit of your journey to get there as well.
Absolutely. So, as Roxanne mentioned, I'm Jaimee Campanella. I'm a time strategist and I'm a productivity consultant. And my focus is on mentoring and guiding parents, specifically moms, professionals, and entrepreneurs to restructure their time to actually achieve their dream life vision. I am the creator of the Time Power Method, which I had created to give people the essential tools and strategies to avoid overwhelm, all these things you all know so well, tame the chaos, and actually start to take steps to achieve their dreams and goals. I'm all about supporting moms from going from, I don't have enough time to do anything to, wow, I finished my to-do list and it's only lunchtime.
Mhm.
I offer in this premier service, Time Power. I like to say I do a home edit because everyone knows about the home edit. I do a home edit of your life and business. So my goal is to turn you into an organized powerhouse, creating awesome systems and mindset changes and structures to actually allocate your time toward the experiences you want to be having. I'm the mama of two young boys who keep me on my toes. I'm a wife, I'm a business owner, course creator, entrepreneur. And over the last 20 years, I have been turning chaos. I walk into chaos situations and my love is turning it into smooth running operations and machines.
Mm.
Um, my background is in large corporations and non for profit, managing high stake events. And so, in all those contexts, turning these complexities into smooth operating machines. And it is from that professional experience, becoming a mother and then starting my own business, I took it to a different level of supporting moms and business owners. I'm also the founder and CEO of a virtual services agency. So through that channel, I support small business owners with the actual resources to outsource aspects of their life and their business so that people can really experience time freedom in simpler and easier ways. So that's in a nutshell what I do, a big nutshell of
Yes. I usually hate the word busy, but I feel like you are a busy woman. I'm impressed.
actually I'm not busy.
Tell me about it.
It's funny that you say that because this is like a side tangent, but the other day I was ending a call with somebody and they said, thank you so much for making time. I know you're so busy.
Mhm.
And I thought to myself, I let it slide, but it bothered me so much later because my whole design is creating a lifestyle where I'm not busy. I've dropped that badge of honor that busy is a great thing. And now I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be busy. I don't know what everyone thinks busy is. Sure, I have a full life.
Yeah.
I have a beautiful life. I'm running lots of shifts, but I do it so that I don't feel busy. I
Mhm.
don't want to be perceived as busy. I want to be the mom. You're like, how the hell does she get it done? Because she seems like she's got it all together. I don't want to be the busy, frazzled mom who shows up like, with her hair undone. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not perfect. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to even give that perception, but I'm not busy. I'm in love with my life and I choose my priorities. I make really conscious decisions before I put anything on my calendar.
Such a great take. I'm reminded of many years ago. I was spearheading this project for I'm trying to like share the story without calling anybody out too much. So I have to be careful how I share the
Sure.
story.
Of course.
I was gathering a lot of information from about 16 people for a book for somebody who is significant for all of us. So I feel like that's big enough but specific enough. And in the middle of I was getting a master's degree. I was a mom of a little one. I was supporting my husband who was also going to school. We were, I mean, like, that busyness, right? For lack of a better word, we're going to call it busyness. And one of the people that I had asked for uh, basically their contribution to this book, they were uh, trying to think. They were living at home. They didn't have a job. They were taking like one college class. They weren't like they were very much, and like I'm not going to try to tell anybody how to spend their time, but they were not wearing as many hats even as they are now.
Hmm.
And I had to ask again and again and again and again and again for their contribution, and it was important that we have it so that the book was complete. And the response that I kept getting was, "Well, I'm just so busy." And I'm like, "Do you think none of
Do you
us
know
are
how busy
like?"
me?
I was like, "No, it's not that you're too busy. It's that this isn't a priority." So I love that that was one of those words that came up for you is that you love your life and you know how to prioritize. So do you sleep ever?
I do.
Do you
Absolutely.
sleep? Okay.
I do sleep. I mean, sleep is always a thing with kids. I mean,
Yeah.
that I can't, that's one of the factors that I say is somewhat out of your control, but I
Yeah.
can take steps to ensure that I get better sleep. Like I can't stay up super late anymore because I know my kids are going to wake me up between 3 and 5. So if I don't get that first leg in, I'm
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, of course, my goal is 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, of
Yeah.
course. But that, it is possible
Yeah.
and it takes discipline,
Yeah.
going to bed earlier,
Mm.
and just knowing where the weaknesses are, where your sleep is going to get lost. I
Yeah.
do not stay up late and work the way I used to.
Mhm.
When I first started my business, I was in the office till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I was always hustling. I was always busy. I was always filling in more.
Yeah.
But I will not do that to myself anymore because then I'm just not the person I want to be in the morning. I mean, I
Mm.
can't control if my kid keeps me up all that late
Right.
or
Right.
wakes me up, but I can control when I let myself go down a social media wormhole.
Yes. Ooh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so Jamie, I wanna ask some questions because
Please.
you and I are running in really similar worlds, and so it's really fun. So I wanna get your perspective on all of this. So you're a time strategist. That was kinda your very first big thing. So as you're talking to moms who are and parents, I know you work with parents, moms and dads as well. Um, do you find that there's a lot of resistance at first of like, well, I have to do all of these things, and there's not really an option for me not to be busy, not to be
Mhm.
overwhelmed. Do you find a lot of resistance in that?
Yeah, I find a lot of common misbeliefs
Mm.
about time.
Yeah.
Like parents come into it thinking they don't have enough,
Yeah.
especially moms. I don't have enough time. I'm always late because I ran out of time. They're always blaming time. There's always
Mhm.
some external thing to blame why it's not possible.
Mhm.
Um, and there's this, well, everything's out of my control.
Mhm.
Um, how can this be possible when, my kid gets sick or everything I've planned gets thrown out the window or so
Yeah.
yeah, there's definite resistance across the board. It just shows up in different colors and
Mhm.
different ways depending on the person's context and experience.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So the reason that I'm asking is I would love for you to give us maybe an actionable step that somebody listening today who's like, yeah, yeah, that sounds really nice, but that like there's no way. There's no way that I could do that. What would you tell that person?
So I would say the first thing that you can do to them all about time, changing your relationship with time is I would want to counter those limiting beliefs
Mhm.
that you came to me with about time. So those are the people who are saying to me they wish they had more time, they don't have enough time, they ran out of time, they forgot, they didn't have time. So I mentioned briefly, but what I hear in all that is time is doing something to me.
Mhm.
Time is against me. Time is out to get me. We're just blaming this concept of time and we're acting like victims of time
Yeah.
when it's truly something we are in control of. but it's easier to pass the buck, if you
Mm.
will. So, one practical way that you can start to feel more in control of your time is changing your language. I talk about mindset first in everything I do
Yes.
because I feel I'm a systems person. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
no matter how many systems or assistants or whatever I give you, if we haven't addressed the time scarcity that you speak about,
Mhm.
then I feel everything else is a band aid or will not work in the long term. So, the first thing I would do with those people is say, we need to change the way you speak about time, how you treat time, and how you attract time.
Mm.
So, the practical way to do that is to stop saying, I don't have time. This is
Mm.
the most common phrase. And now that I've said it, you'll probably hear it all that much
We're
more.
all gonna start noticing it
Yes.
everywhere. Yeah.
So, when you tell people you don't have time to do something, you're essentially just not taking responsibility for how you're using your hours in the day.
Mm.
And language shapes the way we think and the way we feel and the way we interact with the world. So
Yes.
to simply stop saying this one phrase, it's a very powerful action
Mhm.
because the more we tell people we don't have enough of something, the more we believe it. And then we're living in this constant cycle of time scarcity.
Mhm.
We talk about this a lot when it comes to money, like
Yeah.
money mindset, abundance
Yeah.
mindset, but we rarely talk about it in relationship with time.
Mhm.
And time is more valuable than money, right? We
Yes.
know that money can be replaced, time
Yes.
cannot. So people always say, okay, great. I can stop saying I don't have time, but what should I say instead? Tell me what to
Yes.
say. So here's a few simple ways, and you'll find your own after doing this for a while. But a simple way to replace I don't have time is simply by saying it's not a priority or no.
Mhm.
Simply no. Perhaps, yes, I would love to sign up for the bake sale, but could I do it next month instead?
Mm.
Or, expressing your interest if it's genuine, but taking responsibility for the time you have instead of blaming time. So when you change these phrases from blame to responsibility, it puts you back in control. You're
Yeah.
making conscious decisions. And I always say it's also a golden opportunity for check and balance for
Mm.
yourself.
Mhm.
Because if you have to replace that statement, I don't have enough time with, let's say it's not a priority. If you literally replace it, let's say, people often say I don't have time to exercise.
Yeah.
So I don't have time to exercise. Okay. If you do this exercise is not a priority for me.
Mhm.
Well, you viscerally have a gut reaction like, oh, that's not true.
Yes, yes, like, "Oh, dang, oh, yep,
Darn
yep."
it. So it demonstrates for yourself quite quickly and easily that you need to make a change.
Yeah. That's such a great exercise and such an easy not n I feel like maybe not easy, but simple, like, that's such a simple change, even though that's a huge
And
mindset.
it's a
And it
huge mind. It takes
yeah, oh,
practice.
yeah,
It's
oh,
yeah.
yeah. And what a great way it's so funny, just to hear that shift even with the example you gave us, right, of exercise, like, "Oh, exercise isn't a priority." I felt that in my gut, and we were talking before, I'm headed to the gym right after this, and that was like that was me for 10 years of like, "Oh, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time," and then finally said, "Actually, no, I wanna make time," and I shifted that for myself a couple of months ago, and my goodness, the difference has been amazing, and it's
Yeah.
interesting too, as you talk about that shift, there's such an empowering energy about it, about
Yes.
really saying, "Actually, no, I'm in charge. This is my life. I'm in charge here," rather than time being in charge. So thank you for giving us such actionable advice.
Sure.
I would love to know, I mean, you've done a lot of things. So you were in the corporate world and the nonprofit world, you're a mom of 2, your wife, you're a time strategist, you're running this other business as well. What does success look like to you?
Success is, for me, living in a state of harmony with my work and my life. When I feel a sense of balance and alignment with the amount of time I'm spending with my business and my family, when I'm making dedicated time for the things that are important to me, I feel successful. Success, it used to be payday when I started my business, or like just seeing
Yes.
cash flow, or, it was intoxicating to get more clients and get more work and keep growing and growing. It used to look like that,
Mhm.
how much money I was making, but I'm far from that. Now I feel so like today was so amazing. It was successful because I got to work in my business and I got to have an amazing afternoon with my kids and do a baking project. And I felt like a winner in both areas.
Mm.
So to me, that's success. It's life. It's like, am I living the life I want? Am I enjoying my life? If I'm, dragging my feet through anything, I'm not being my best self. That's not a success for me.
Mhm. I love that answer. I love that. I feel that answer like in my bones. So thank you for that. What a great perspective on success. Jaimee, you were an entrepreneur before you had kids? Kids before an entrepreneur. What was our order here?
I had children and then became an entrepreneur. Well, I had a
Okay.
child. I was pregnant with
Okay.
my second child
Got
when
it.
I became
Got
an
it. Got it.
entrepreneur.
Okay. No, that helps. As I ask you this next question, this is why I'm asking. So you became a parent, became an entrepreneur.
Yes.
How has becoming a parent for a second time, being a parent for the first time through this entrepreneurship journey changed you as a person?
Mhm. It's a good one. Um, my ability to grow and to see how growth can happen exponentially, like in both arenas,
Mhm.
and seeing my tendency to take on too much, like at the beginning of the
Oh, yeah.
journey, right?
Yeah.
Like I just saw like, wow, I am capable of a lot. I don't
Yeah.
even think I realized my capability,
Yeah.
in terms of stretching myself and being good at so many things. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
moms are the most amazing multitaskers. Like
They're the
we are like
best.
project managers of our own households. Like we are strategic. We can like plan what our kids are wearing, the meal, like every single soccer thing. Oh, I have to like, we are incredible. And so I just saw how much I could grow so fast, but then I also saw how much I was able to let go
Mm.
or
Mhm.
burn out. I burned out a lot in these different
Yeah.
iterations. And so I'm in hindsight, I'm really grateful for all those moments of burnout because
Yeah.
it led me to deeper gems, so to
Yeah.
speak,
Oh,
that
yeah.
I now teach
I was gonna
entrepreneurs
say this has
about.
become your whole life is helping
Yeah.
others. Yeah.
Yeah, like, before I was just a do it for you
Sure.
style person, and now I'm like, yeah, I can still do things for you, but I want to make long-standing impact in your life.
Mhm.
I wanna
Mhm.
teach you the tools that you can use. So, that really changed my trajectory of,
Mhm.
like, my business structure, of my entrepreneurial journey, of who I wanted to be in the world, was
Yeah.
going through that experience of trying to do both.
Mhm. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And I mean, it's so true. I feel like mom's brains are the ultimate supercomputer.
Yeah.
At the same time, they tend to go a little bit
Oh,
crazy and almost,
absolutely.
you know. And so it's so fun to. I love so much that you talked about how much you were capable of, but also how much you could let go because I feel like that's
Mhm.
such an important piece of it. I would love to know, do you experience guilt ever? Especially around, especially with moms, we talk a lot about guilt around your time. And so I'm really curious from your perspective as a time strategist, do you ever experience guilt?
Yes. I've really worked with it, and
Okay.
so I have applied my own tools and techniques to manage it
Yeah.
because it really got in the way of at least the beginning of my journey of my success and my
Mhm.
feeling of accomplishment.
Mhm.
I used to feel guilt all the time when I was in that hustle phase.
Yeah.
I I can literally feel it in my body still if I think about those moments where I was at the peak of my business growth and like 2 eras ago, and I, was with my kids and feeling guilty because I didn't wanna be with them. I wanted to go work on my business because it was, like, growing and doing so well, and then I'd get to the office and it was vice versa. I was like, "Oh, shit, I feel so guilty. I should be playing with the kids and making memories," and so I realized at this one point, like, I wasn't winning in either capacity. I wasn't present with my business and I wasn't present with my kids, and I felt guilty about that. I wasn't
Mhm.
giving my due attention in either direction.
Mhm.
And that it was from that place that I realized, after much work on it,
Yeah,
that
yeah. Not an instantaneous decision.
no,
Yes.
no, no,
That's
but I had to take control of my time.
Yeah.
because the guilt was just coming from me not managing my time well. I
Mm.
could have both,
Yeah.
and I wasn't choosing how to I didn't know how to turn my mind off
Mm.
from one to the other.
Yeah.
Like
How do you
I
turn yeah.
remember I was reading a book to my son,
Mhm.
literally laying in bed with him and like thinking, God, I cannot wait for him to fall asleep. I just want to get back to my office. Like I really was not there. Physically, I
Yeah.
was there. I was there a lot, but I was not mentally there.
Yeah.
And I was reading to him one night and he said, "Oh, why did the bunny take the carrot or something?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I have to read the page again." Cause I was
Ugh.
reading, but I did not retain anything I was
Yeah, yeah,
saying.
yeah. Yeah.
So it was such a wake up call for me. Like either you're here or you're not here, but don't
Mhm.
do it half ass, you know?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's I'm gonna needle point that one on a pillow. I love it. I love it. It reminds me of the Ron Swanson quote, don't half-ass one thing, whole-ass two things or whatever that combination is. How did you shift this then? What has shifted in your brain now? How are you able to be present in these respective realms?
Well, I took control of my
Yeah.
time. I changed my relationship with it.
Yeah.
I did a lot of mindset work specifically that I created and designed around time mindset to figure out what the problem was. Because even as the agency owner at the time, I was working with amazing moms,
Yeah.
highly ambitious, successful, and they were all saying the same thing. I'm
Mhm.
tired and I don't have enough time and I feel guilty for not being with my kids.
Mhm.
And I was like, there's something we're not looking at. This is ridiculous. Like, we are amazing people. Why are we suffering with
Mm.
time and being present? So I did take a time out, so to speak, from
Yeah.
the day to day hustle and my business and studied different techniques and tools and ways that I knew I had to make a change if I was going to continue with running my own business.
Mhm.
And it was through all that work that Time Power, my program, was born. And I practice those techniques to this day. It's a mix of mindset, structure,
Mhm.
um, affirmations. I mean, different visualizations. It's all the heart of what I teach.
Mhm.
Um, but I live it. I mean, again, not every day is peaches and cream, but
Sure.
I have the tools to get back in balance.
Mhm. Mm. I feel like every one of my listeners needs to just call you up and start working with you right now. This is amazing. Um, what do you wish people knew? What do you wish people knew about this, or what do you wish you knew years ago? What do you wish somebody had told you about the intersection of parenting and entrepreneurship?
Well, time is the undercurrent
Mhm.
of everything that we
Mhm.
do, and it's always overlooked. We talk about a lot of other things when we're starting a business and being an entrepreneur and being a parent, but we don't
Mm.
talk about time management that much. And it's really the lifeline
Yeah.
of what we're doing. So I would say that if it's so important to build a good relationship with time from the
Mhm.
beginning.
Mhm.
When you change your relationship with time and you put the right structures in place to manage both personally and professionally, anything is possible.
Mhm.
You have to make choices, you have to set priorities, but your work and your family do not need to compete. But you have to make that choice up front. You decide where your time goes. Um, and this is necessary for how you make conscious decisions and choices in your business and your life to make sure that your time is in alignment with your life vision. If you want to be the mom who works in the office all day and is not involved with your kid's life, great. I'll help you create a schedule for that. What do you want to experience? Do you
Mhm.
want to be the mom who does pickup? Do you want to be one day a week with your kids in the after? Like, what is it that you want? What makes you feel accomplished? And you can create that. Don't think otherwise, especially as entrepreneurs. And this is like why I want to work with moms who run businesses so specifically,
Mhm.
because, our businesses are other baby
Mhm.
and we
Mhm.
are in control.
Yeah.
Literally, we are the CEOs most of the time of these entrepreneurships. And we're the first ones to let ourselves go and let our business run us. But we are in a unique position to set the stage, but we
Mhm.
often drop that responsibility. So I would say to you, myself, and then don't, I would say create the life you want and build your business around that and not vice versa.
Mm. Mm. Jamie, I feel like you are dropping mic after mic after mic after mic. Amazing. So I'm going to ask you for one more mic drop before
Okay.
we wrap things up. Will you give us a 30-second pep talk for other parents who are on this journey of entrepreneurship?
Right. Oh, okay. 30-second pep talk. Okay. Start, timer, go. Okay. Take off. The badge of honor doesn't exist anymore. There is no more work hustle. Busy is not good. Busy does not determine how successful you will be. Being a parent and a business owner has its challenges. There are ebbs and flows. This is par for the course. Don't lose yourself in those moments. Allow them to propel you forward and help you get clearer about your life vision. They are attainable. Time is on your side, and you are the creator of your story. So if somebody is reading your story, your book in 50, 75, 100, 200 years from now, remember you're writing that story now. Every decision you make, every moment of time that you use is your story. So own it.
Oh, you've been pep talk. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. I have one last question. The name of this podcast is Reimagining Hustle. And I feel like you've done a really good job of expressing to us how you can reimagine hustle. But I would love to know in your life how you reimagine hustle. And I'm going to give you a little background to this question before I let you answer. So when I started my business, I was not a parent. I started my business first and loved it. Super bought into hustle culture. I mean, you've talked about, you love that hustle as well. It felt good. It felt really, really good. And then I had my first child and my whole world stopped. And I knew it wasn't sustainable anymore. So I've been on this quest to reimagine the idea of hustle since then. So in your own life, you've shared with us a lot about how you coach your clients and you shared in your life as well. But I would love to know, what does hustle reimagined look like to you if you were to put a definition on it?
Okay. So it's a society where women, mothers are celebrated for having an enjoyable lifestyle where they get to take care of themselves, be a caregiver, and have a successful business.
I want to go to there.
That's reimagined, right? Because I'm saying
yes.
it's where
Yes.
it's the opposite of what exists.
Yeah.
And
I mean, honestly, yeah. Yeah.
and that would be the ideal. It's like, I wouldn't, yeah.
What a great way to reimagine it. Thank you for that. Jaimee,
You're
we
welcome.
need more of you. Tell us where we can find you online. For all of those listening, where can we find you?
Yes. So you can find me on my website, jaimeecampanella.com. If you are inspired by what you heard today and you want to take your relationship with time, your time mindset to the next level, I encourage you to register for my online course, which is all focused on time mindset for moms. 4 shifts. I give visualizations and exercises to implement these new understandings and changes in your life, which have been instrumental for me. Or if you're looking to implement the structures and the systems that I've talked about for managing your time, sign up for my Time Power program. It will revolutionize your relationship with time. And if you want a little dose of tips and inspiration, hop on Instagram or Facebook and follow me at Jaimee Campanella Co. And my newsletter is available, and lots of other free resources that pop up on my website, new trainings and masterclasses. So yeah, if you're inspired to live your dream life and ensure that your time is in alignment with your intentions, come follow me. Come
Awesome.
sign up for one of my resources.
Yes. And we'll make sure that everything is linked in the show notes. You need more Jaimee in your life. Go follow her. Stop everything you're doing. Go follow her right now. So Jaimee, this has been a treat. Thank you for the gift of your time. Truly, this has been, we were talking before, morning for me, nighttime for you. For me, this is a great way to start my day, and I appreciate it so much. This has been a lot of fun.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thanks for listening to Reimagining Hustle with Roxanne Merkett. If you like the show and want more, check out reimagininghustle.com and please leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. We'll be back next week with another episode. See you soon.